All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back, you guys. So, dude, there are two stories that I want to cover that are happening right now. One of which is we have an active shooter apparently at Fort Stewart. Everything's on lockdown there. The base, the airfield, schools, casualties reported. It is literally like happening as we speak. So I'm gonna pull all of that up. Like I'm looking at the updates, and these are happening like. So we're going to take a look at that and see what we can figure out about what is going on there. And then also, I saw this footage. What's up, guys? I saw this footage of the flood in India that happened a day or two ago. Have you guys seen the videos of that flood that kind of come down the hill and just demolishes this entire Indian town? It is crazy. I can tell you for 100% sure it is going to probably demonetize the stream for a very specific reason. I can't ever make sense of how YouTube decides what to demonetize and what not to when it comes to natural disasters, because I literally pull them up and it's like, okay, every major media outlet is covering this, so I assume that I can show it, and then 50% of the time they'll demonetize it, 50% of the time they won't. Either way, I'm going to show it to you. I don't care. I only have about 20 minutes. I'm going to do Coach Colin's show today, you guys. You guys know Coach Colin. I'm doing his show. So that is what is going to happen shortly here. But I wanted to show you both of these stories. So let's see, chat. What do you guys prefer? Actually, let me take this off. Would you guys prefer to look at the active shooter on the base, Fort Stewart, or do you want to see this unbelievable like tidal wave destroying an entire Indian town and city? Ready, go. You guys tell me. It was a cloud burst. I don't know what that means. Active shooter, active shooter, active shooter, active shooter, active shooter. Both. That's helpful. That's helpful. Oh my God, this is literally like right down the middle. I think I'm seeing more. Oh man. Now it's right down the middle. Okay, I'm gonna whatever, dude. All right. We're just gonna do the flood first because it's not gonna take very long. Oh my God. The cloud burst. Wait, is that? Hang on. The cloud burst, is that the same thing? I'm looking at a different thing on my screen. Hang on. Let me share this with you guys. Is this right here? You see on the far here, like, oops, you see down here at the far right corner where it's suggesting this cloud burst thing over here. Is that the same thing as this flood right here? That's wild. I don't know how to do the polls. I'm not sure if you can do it. USA News. Oh man, that's an excellent argument, dude. All right. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go through real quick the active shooter. Well, I'll read you what they know so far, and then I'll go to the flood, and then we'll come back. Okay. Let's do this. All right. So let's pop this on really quick, and then we'll come back.
There's casualties. Get into area hospitals and do the best you can. Everybody's involved in this. Schools are locked down. That'll be lifted somewhat soon now that they have an arrest. Is it a single person or is it more than that? Seems like it's a single person right now.
No Vesti is whose channel I landed on. So, all right.
Louis, the FBI is offering assistance. What else can you tell us about how this investigation is being coordinated now?
Well, coordination is key, Diane. You're going to have the FBI. You're going to have alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. They're going to be usually involved in any kind of shooting incident at a federal facility. And that's important to remember. This is a federal facility, but local law enforcement is going to be relied on.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go to the let's actually just look at the news article so I can tell you specifics. By the way, I read this and laughed out loud because I have no idea what a cloudburst is either. I was like, a cloudburst? Jeez. Another cloudburst destroyed an Indian town? Oh my God, that's crazy. In my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is a cloudburst? I literally have absolutely no idea. The shooting is taking place at Fort Stewart in Georgia. So literally my girl that sends me all the hot topics, which she is incredible at. She sent that to me and I just ran upstairs because I only have I'm doing Coach Calling at noon. So I wanted to go live. All right. So active shooter, the real crypto beauty. That sounds like a person who has their own. We've done this before, I think, actually. You have your own show. I'll come back to it in a second. Okay. Active shooter at Fort Stewart base, airfield, schools on lockdown, casualties reported. By the way, if you have not subscribed to the channel, why don't you guys go ahead and do that? Why don't you like this stream? I hate when they do it like this because it's like you almost have to like scroll down to the bottom and then read up. Okay, so the original story, the commander of Fort Stewart has issued a lockdown in the 2 ABCT area of Fort Stewart, including Wright and Evans Army Field, as well as Fort Stewart schools. Oh, God, tell me they're not shooting kids, dude. Tell me they're not shooting. I didn't even think about that. Hang on. Let's look up one other thing real quick. All right. So Fort Stewart layout. Like, because this is like one of those ones that has like schools and all kinds of other stuff. So like, you know what I mean? This is this is honestly very similar to Cloudburst. I don't have any idea what I'm even looking at. Let's go back over here, but it's a lot, all right. So law enforcement confirmed there's an active shooter on the scene. 4 people have been taken to the hospital. One suspect has been identified by law enforcement. Okay, so that doesn't sound like they got him yet. Community Superintendent Brian Perry issued a statement to Kessler Elementary School, Murray Elementary School, and Diamond Elementary School, which reads, per Department of Defense alert, the commander of Fort Stewart has issued a lockdown. Diamond, Kessler, Murray schools are all in lockdown at this time. There's no immediate threat to the schools at this time. We will send a message that all clear is announced. Dude, can you fucking imagine if you lived on the base and you got a notification that there was an active shooter and you saw your kid's school on the list? Like, he's been arrested. Okay, so that's good. That's good to know. He's been arrested. That is one of the most terrifying things I've ever thought of in my entire life. When that dude, went into the Waco school and killed all those kids, you know what? I'm not even going to let my brain go there again. So WTOC has contacted Fort Stewart and was told they're assessing the threat, will provide updates as they become a case. 2nd Brigade area is also on lockdown. Dude, I mean, I understand locking down, but a military fort seems like a pretty crazy place to be an active shooter. You gotta assume someone's gonna put you down pretty fast. Like, how does this end up in an arrest? Do you know what I mean? There's so many guns, dude. There's just no two ways about it. That has to be a person who is trying to go out via someone else's gunfire, right? They advise the community to lock down facilities, stay inside, close and lock all windows and doors, and say keep telephone lines open and report accountability to your leadership. Dude, that probably in a situation like this has got to be one of the most challenging parts of it. Is you have nothing but military personnel there and their spouses, like military personnel, their wives or husbands, and their kids, right? And in most cases, I would assume the husbands are probably military also if the wife's military. So it's like, okay, guys, everyone locked down. And you're like, there's an active shooter. They're like, yes, you're all, my fucking kids are over there. They're like, right, stay in your house. You're all, stay in my, they're like, that's an order. And you're all, where's the shooter? They're all, we don't really know. It's like the ultimate, can you follow orders? You know what I mean? Because, and at the same time, in my situation, I got 2 kids at one school, 1 kid at another school. So what do I do with that? You know what I mean? Okay, so the update was they went to soft lockdown in response to the active shooter. Casualties. Fort Stewart said that the casualties have been reported and the situation is ongoing. Let's see if the governor has put any new information up. All right. So, oh no. Okay. As we remain in close contact with law enforcement on the ground, Marty, the girls, and I are saddened by today's tragedy. We are keeping the victims, their family. Okay. So, okay. That's not good. Sounds like some people got killed. All right. Hang on. Let me go back over here. This is all just like, this is crazy. This is all just like current state. So let me update this real quick. So the last update. Oh, here we go. Okay. So five soldiers were shot today in an active shooter incident at the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area. Jesus, that's really asking to get shot. How did the guy not get killed? All soldiers were treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. There is no active threat to the community. Okay, that's good. Law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting in the 2nd ABCD complex at 10:56 a.m. Shooter was apprehended at 11:35. That's crazy. So the installation was locked down at 11:04 a.m. Lifted the lockdown. Emergency medical. Okay. Treat wounded soldiers at 11:09 under investigation. Okay, so I'm going to make a hypothesis here just based on the times. If law enforcement was called at 10:56, assume that the shooting happened within 1 minute of that, so let's call it 10:55. And then the shooter is apprehended at 11:35. Then you got to figure you got two options that this was not. I mean, a person who goes in and starts shooting people is obviously crazy every time, but you got to assume that they were shooting at specific people and then they left, or someone put a gun on them and then held them there until, they were officially arrested. Because like a person who's going on a rampage, this time frame wouldn't make any sense. 40 minutes. And they only got 5. That doesn't make any sense, right? So it's got to be either they wanted to shoot at the specific people that they went and shot at, or they were going to go on a rampage and someone put a gun in the back of their head, then they pussied out and they, got disarmed and then held there. I mean, it doesn't make, and hopefully nobody got killed, dude. 5 soldiers shot, we'll see. This is a very good point. You can't quantify reasoning for crazy. That is very true. Rules of engagement, I assume, are, as far as I understand it, soldiers or civilians alike, if you have a firearm on you and someone is shooting at people trying to kill them, you just shoot them and kill them. Sorry, you were responding to someone else, so I don't know what that means. Okay. 80% of small arms incidents, if quickly got to the hospital and results in survival. So even a pistol is less than lethal if an ambulance service is available. Where'd you pull that stat? I mean, because like small arms, are we talking like 22? Because are you just talking like all pistols? Because like that, how are you defining small arms and where did you pull that? What's up, Ghost? How are you, sir? Look it up, pistols. Okay, so wait, let me just make sure that I understand. Okay, so 80% of all, okay, so small arms survival rate if, let's say medical treatment is immediate. I mean, that just sounds nuts, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you're pulling that from, but let's look at this. Okay, so survival rate of gunshot wounds to various parts. See, that's what I'm saying is like you shoot someone in the heart with a 22, they're going to die. It's all about where they get hit. Okay, likely to Oh, chance of survival. Okay, so outside of the major organs, like 90% that they'll survive. Still outside of the major organs, and then probable is what the fuck? If you get shot, okay. They're saying like, if you get shot in the lungs, you got a 50 to 70% chance of survival if you get shot in the lungs. That is very painful. I don't know where are they pulling this from? 50 to 15. What the fuck? They got this is hey, if you look close to this, look at how stupid this is. This is absurd. Look at this. Look at this. They got right in the fucking heart at 50 to 15%. If you get shot directly in the fucking heart. What? I think I'm going to go ahead and push back on this Reddit fucking image. That is absurd. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move over to, and let's take a look at the footage of the earthquake or the Indian village, and then we're going to see what a cloudburst is right afterwards. Okay, so this is so gnarly, dude. Watch this video. You see that over there?
मामा चले गया सेफ जगह मामा चले गया मंदिर मैं बोलेगा क्योंकि फोन कर तब वही अपना खत्म हो गया खत्म जल्दी के लिए कल मचल वाला जी वो मामा के लिए फोन करना मामा चले गए फोन कर मामा के लिए फोन नहीं
Wait, Ashley, so do you like what is the nature of this flood? Because like the first thing that I noticed when I watched it was I was like, okay, clearly the water is going down a causeway or whatever, like something specifically made to transfer water from one place to another. And it's like, how did this happen? How did that much water all of a sudden go through it and then just destroy this town? Yeah, it's fair. I don't know what that means. Okay, hang on. So let's finish this thing though. But yeah, I could certainly turn the sound down. That is just so wild. Like, oh wow, I never watched this far. So I never watched this far. I didn't realize, like, I assumed that those people had fled that town. And that was one of my questions. I was like, what? Like, why are there still people in that other town? Because you see them like running through the streets as the flood happens. I'm like, what the hell were they still doing down there? But now I realize these people lived up here. Lucky for them. Oh my God. Like, can you imagine living there? Like, you lived there your whole life. you look down at, you look down at that town your whole life, right? It's like completely it's just part of your experience and part of your landscape. You look down there, you always see the same buildings, you always see the same people. There are people who probably literally live there their entire lives. And then just out of nowhere, you're like 50 years old and you look and you see some gigantic flood just obliterate the entire town. It's like, I don't even know how my brain would process a thing like that. You know what I mean? Let's look at, I know there's more footage of it though, because that was actually not the one. And then check this out. Oh, wait. Is this the same? So it's a flash flood. Oh my God, look at that. It just buried them. So it's like a mudslide or something like. Okay, this one I think is probably the one that I saw. Because in this one, yeah, this is different. I don't even know. Like it's this. So like this one, I'm just going to say, so like this one right here, there's way more. It's crystal clear where you see people running in the street and then you see you see the flood hit and then you see the buildings just literally collapse on top of them. It's like, I don't really want to show it because then I know for sure the video will get 18 plus, but you guys can go look that one up if you want. It's like if people get killed in a video, it gets 18 plus every single time. But good Lord, man. But man, it looks like there's some other ones I haven't even seen yet. You know what? I got to jump anyway, though, because I'm going on Coach Collins' show in 5 minutes. I'm going to watch these. You guys should find these as well. Watch those. And I will have some excellent content up for you guys later. I love you guys. Peace.